Welcome back to part 3 of our ASP.NET Web API with Entity Framework series. In our last video of this series, we learned how to fetch data by using Entity Framework. Now in this video, we are diving into the core of CRUD operations like post, put, delete. You will learn how to add, update and remove data using Entity Framework like a professional. Before that, please like, share and subscribe the channel to motivate us. Let's jump right into it. So previously we created this one get method to get the list of products. Okay. So today let's find the data by the ID. Let's move to this is our controller. So let's move to our this is our product.business logic layer and this is our data access layer. Okay, so in our data access layer we have one product repository. Okay, so let's add one method here, public async then task, then we need to get product by the ID. So that's product dot models dot product. Okay, let's name it get product by ID async, and we need to get by the ID, then int product ID. Okay, now let's where product equals to await. Now what we can say here, context dot products dot context dot product dot find async and provide product ID. Okay, and await, return the product. Okay, so we have created this method public async get product by ID async. Okay, so we are providing product ID here. Okay, and we are using find async method from here. So let's copy this one and move to iProduct repository, and then let's add it here, semicolon, and remove the async. Okay, so we have added our method in interface iProduct repository and in our product repository class. Okay, so now our first method is created for the get product ID in the product repository. Okay, let's move to product BLL. So let's add it here. First of all, let's add it in interface. Okay, and remove async. So this is our product service, then we have this one. So let's public async task product dot models dot product, then name it get product by ID async and integer product id, okay, where product equals to await this one and return product. So we have added this method in our iProduct service and in our product service as well. So we have created in project repository, then product service. Let's move to our controller method now. In the product APIs, and we have product controller. So let's move to this one. And in this one we have one HTTP GET method. So our new method is also HTTP GET. So let's add this one HTTP GET and name it as get product by ID. Okay, public async task IXN result get product by ID integer product ID and where product equals to await underscore service dot get product by ID async this one. Okay, now if our product is null, product equals to null. If it is not found, then let's return not found. Okay, otherwise return okay this product. Okay, now we have created this one action method here, one more API. Let's try to run it. First of all, press F9 to add this debugger point and let's HTTPS run it. Yeah, now it's running. So let's open Swagger here. Yeah, now it's opened. Now we have two GET APIs here. One is API product and other is API product, then get product API that we have defined the name here, that is get product API. Okay, now let's open this one and click on try it out. Okay, so let's put here product ID as 1 and click on execute. So our debugger point is now hit, so our product ID is 1. So let's debug it. Product, now we have product ID F11. Now in this we are now in our product service. Okay, so our product ID is here 1 as well. So let's product ID F10 and now F11. Now we are in our project repository and here we also get the product ID. So press F10 and let's see. Yeah, now it is successful. So let's see. Yeah, we have now ID is 1, name is laptop and price is 50,000. So we have successfully fetched the data from the database with the help of entity framework and by using the product ID. Let's press F10. Now we are again in product service. So as we can see here, we also received our data here, and now let's move to product controller. Now we are also successfully receive data here. So let's click on continue now. Let's see what happens in the Swagger responses. This is our API URL now, as this is our HTTP GET. Okay, so this is our request URL, and in response body we have received the data from the database with the help of entity frame. Okay, so let's move to new API to add our product to the database. This is our HTTP GET. Now let's create one more method, public async task. Here we will use integer as our return type. Okay, and now name it create product async product dot models dot product and product. Okay, now where prod equals to context dot products dot use add method here. So yeah, okay, now we have added begins tracking the and any other digital entry that are not already being tracked. Wait, so this add will add the product to the database. Okay, and now click in write int rows affected equals to await context dot save changes async. So we have added one product and save the changes to the database by using this save changes async method, and it will return task integer, means how many records or rows are affected by using this save changes async. Okay, let's return our rows affected from here. Copy this one and add this in the iProduct repository now, semicolon, and remove async. Actually first we need to add this method in interface and then need to implement in project repository, but anyway we are doing this one. So we have created our create product async method in the repository data access layer. Let's move to our product service now. First of all, let's move to iProduct service, paste it here and remove async keyword. So we have created this one. Now let's move to our product service. So let's public async and task integer, as we need to return row affected, how many rows are affected by this particular action. Okay, so create product async. Okay, and in this we need to pass the whole product dot models dot product and product. Okay, sorry. Okay, now let's create one rows affected equals to await underscore repo dot create for, yeah, it's good, press tab. Okay, so it is now returning our integer. So let's return here rows affected. Okay, now we have created this method in the product service. Okay, and using the repository create product async from the repository, or we can say product repository. Okay, we have added this method in this product service as well as in iProduct service. So let's move to product controller. And here this is our get. Now we are going to use HTTP post. Here we have post. Let's name it as add product. Okay, public async task IXN result add product dot models dot what API dot product. Just a second. Okay, let's remove this one from here because we previously added this one here. So let's delete this one. And now let's add the reference for the models project reference. Okay, we have already this reference, so let's move to product controller. Now product dot models dot product. Okay, and name it here as product. Okay, integer rows affected equals to await underscore service dot create this. Okay, create product async, and it will return task integer. So okay, if rows affected greater than 0, then we can say return okay, as we can say that our product is created successfully. Okay, close this if and write else. And in else we are, if like number of rows are not returned properly, then it will be our bad request. So mark as bad request and say product is not created successfully. Okay, so let's put here our debugger point. I think we have created our method in product repository, in product service, and in controller. So let's run it. Click here. It is giving us an error. Let's see what's the error in product controller. Okay, so we also need to close the method. Yes, now let's run it. Okay, now open Swagger. Okay, now we have 3 APIs to get all the products, to get the product by ID, and to add a new product with post verb. Okay, so this is our HTTP method as post. So try it out. This is saying request body. So our request body should be in this format. Okay. So try it out. Click on this, try it out, and it is asking request body in this format. Okay. So previously we added two products in our database table with ID 1 and 2. Now let's create ID 3 and name it anything, like we have laptop and mobile in our database table. So let's move it to speaker. Okay, and put its value as 5000. Okay, so this is added. This is our values, and click on execute. Now it's here. Let's see the values in ID3, name speaker, price 5000. Okay, that's good. F10, F11. Now let's see in our product service. Yeah, we also gets the value here, F10. Now let's move to project repository. Now we are in our product repository. So let's see. Yeah, values are also here. Press F10, press F10, and press F10. Now let's see. It's saying rows affected 1 because we have only added one product. So in our database table, one record is added. Let's press F10, F10. Now our rows affected is 1. So it is greater than 0. So our product is created successfully. Click on continue. Okay. So this is our request body, and this is our responses. So this is our request URL. Okay, and these are our payload. Okay, so ID3 speaker, this one. So it is saying we have received 200 status as okay, and response body's product is created successfully. Okay, that we can confirm by using this API, because it will give us all the added products in the table. So let's try it out. Click on execute. Yeah, it will like call this method to get all the products from the database table. So click on continue. So let's see how many records we received. Yes, previously we had these two records. Now we added one new record, that is ID 3, speaker, name is speaker, and price is 5000. So we are receiving these three records. It means our record is successfully added in the database, and we are getting that record from the database in the get API as well. So we are done with our HTTP post example where we are adding our product. Okay, let's move to our next HTTP method. Close this one and let's write code here. First of all, let's move to product repository. Now we have our get all products, then product by ID, then we have one create product. Let's create one more method, public async task integer update product async product dot models dot product this one. Let's context dot entry and in this method let's write this one. So we have provided product here, okay, and its state is saying it's modified, so it will check the data, and whatever the data we have updated, it will automatically update in the database. Let's call our save changes method rows affected equals to await and context dot save changes async and this one, okay, and return rows affected. So we are now done by creating our update product async method. Let's add it in our iProduct repository, this one, and remove this one here from here. So now we have added our update product async method in our product repository as well as in our interface iProduct repository. So let's add it in our iProduct service as well. Paste it here and remove this one, sync. Let's move to our product service class. And this is here. So let's paste it here. So where rows affected equals to await this one, okay, now and return this one, press enter. So it is done. So in product service we have called update product async method from the product repository, okay. So service is also done. So let's move to product controller. So we have used our HTTP post method here. Now let's use HTTP put to update it. HTTP put, and let's name it here update product, okay. Type public async task and IXN result, then name it as update product. Let's integer product ID and product dot models dot product and product. First of all, let's put one validation here, like product ID not equals to product dot ID. If these two values are not matching, then return a bad request here and say product ID is not matching or product ID mismatch. Okay, so now let's call our method integer rows affected equals to service dot product, this one and this one, okay. Let's put await here, sorry, not async, await, okay. So it returns integer rows affected. Let's put our validation here, if rows affected greater than 0, then we can say return okay, sorry, okay, and we can say product updated successfully, else let's return bad request and say product is not updated. Okay, product not updated successfully. Okay, this is done. So yeah, now we are done with this our put method. So press F9 to set debugger point here, and let's again run our API. Now press Swagger. Now it's showing it in orange color. Okay, post is in green color, these are in blue colors, and it's in orange color. Let's click on try it out. Now we are going to update. Let's update our product ID 3. So put it 2 here, then 3, and our item was speaker, so it's speaker, and we have given it as 5,000, so let's change it to 6,000 now. Okay, and let's see what will happen. Click on execute now. Now we are here, so our product ID is 2, and in this our product ID is 3. So let's see F10 and this one. So our product ID is not matching here, so it is giving us the bad request. Yeah, error. Okay, so product ID mismatch. Okay, so let's again give the correct ID here 3, and let's again run it. Click on execute F10. Yeah, now it's matching, so product ID is 3 and this is also 3. So click on F11 now. Now we are in our product service. So here our product details ID 3 speaker and 6,000. F10. Now let's move to our product repository. Now it's modified and make changes to the database table. Save changes, and now it's showing us rows affected equals to 1. So our change is done. Return rows affected, return. Now it's greater than 0, so it is saying okay, return okay, product updated successfully. Okay, so let's see what is our response now. Now our response is 200. Previously it was 400, now it's 200, and it is saying product updated successfully. Okay, so now we are done with our put method as well here by using the update product API. Okay, now that we can check from this API by ID, so try it out if our record is updated or not. Put product ID as 3 here and click on execute. Click on continue. Let's see what will be the output of this. Yeah, as you can see, our API is called to get the product by ID. Okay, and in the results set we are seeing that ID equals to 3, name is speaker, and price is 6,000. Previously we had given 5,000, now we have given 6,000. So now it is updated in the database and returning the updated value in the API. Okay, so let's close it now. Okay, so we are done with HTTP get product by ID, then by HTTP post to add the product, and to update the product by using the HTTP put. Okay, so now let's use the delete as well here. Let's move to product repository. Let's add our delete method here. So public async task integer and delete product async. And to delete a product, we just need its product ID. Okay, so let's int product ID, not whole product, full details of the product. So we just need a ID. On the basis of ID, we can delete that one. So let's write where product equals to await context dot products dot find async by product ID. Now let's create int rows affected equals to 0 if product equals to null, then return rows affected, otherwise context dot products dot remove product. Okay, and rows affected equals to await context or save changes as done, and then return rows affected. So we have fetched the product by its ID, then we checked it's null or not, then we removed from the context from the product entity, and then save the changes to the database table, and after saving it will return the rows affected. So it's done. So let's copy this one from here, and we are in product repository, control S. Then let's move to product repository and again add it in wrong order. So let's this one. So we are done with product repository and iProduct repository. We have added this method here. So let's first add it in the iProduct service here. Now let's move to product service. Sorry, it was giving some error. Yes, okay, sorry. Now we are done with this iProduct service interface. Let's move to product service class. This is here. And public async task int. Same way, let's delete product async and int product ID and int or where rows affected equals to await and repo dot delete product, this one, return rows affected, this one. Okay, so we are also now done with product service as well, and now let's move to our product controller. Okay, to delete a product from the table. So we are done. Okay, so let's use http delete method here and name it delete product. Okay, public async task ixn result and name it delete product and integer product id. Integer rows affected equals to await underscore service dot delete. Okay, it's good. Now let's if rows affected, this one, then let's say return okay and product successfully, product is deleted successfully. Okay, else return bad request and say product is not deleted successfully. Okay, now let's put it F9. So now we have like our http delete here, and in controller we have this one, created this method, and in product service we have also added this delete product. In product repository we have also written the code for this. So let's run it. Let's put, yeah, we have already put the debugger point here, so let's open Swagger. So for delete it is given us red color. Okay, so let's move to try it out, and we need to put our id. So we have 1 2 3 IDs in our database. So let's try to say here 4. This id is not available in our database, so let's see what will happen here. Click on execute. Now we have given product id as 4, so click F10 F11 here. Now let's check, we are also receiving our data here, so let's move to repository. So yeah, so our product is null here because we don't have product as where product id is 4, so it is giving us null. So let's say our rows affected is equal to 0. So this condition is true, so it will return 0 from here. Okay, so our rows affected is 0, so yeah, our request is bad request, and result is saying product is not deleted successfully. Okay, this is our request URL, and this is like this one. So let's provide the right product id, that is 3, and again try to click on execute, continue the same way. Now it is saying return code is 200 and response body is product is deleted successfully. Okay, So it means our product is deleted from the database table. Okay, so let's see if it is there or not. Let's call this API, try it out. It will return out, it will return all the listed product in that table. So let's click execute and continue. Let's see what is our result. Yeah, as you can see, we have only two products here, product ID 1 and product ID 2. Previously, when we added one product, then there were three products. Now there are only two products, because by using the product ID 3 we deleted one product. Okay, so now we are done with all the APIs. Now our API is, this is to get all the products, this is to get product by ID, and this post is used to add the product in the database table, and put is used to update the product details. Okay, and the delete method is used to delete the product details from the table. So we have used all these get, post, put, delete methods in our this video. Okay, so that is for our part 3 of ASP.NET Web API with Entity Framework series. Now you know how to create, update and delete directly through your API. So in the next part we will take it a step further. So make sure to like, subscribe to stay tuned.